Imagine a world utterly hostile, a landscape of frozen oblivion where temperatures plummet to lethal extremes and perpetual darkness reigns for months. This is the Arctic, a realm that swallowed ship after ship, explorer after explorer, promising glory but delivering only an icy grave for countless Europeans. Yet, amidst this same unforgiving wilderness, an extraordinary people not only survived but flourished for millennia, the Inuit. How could one group succumb so tragically, while another, facing identical perils, not merely endure but thrive? The stark contrast is a haunting testament to human ambition versus profound adaptation. From the ill-fated expeditions seeking the fabled Northwest Passage, men driven by imperial dreams and misguided notions of superiority, to the resilient communities whose ancestors had danced with the aurora borealis for centuries, the fates were dramatically different. European explorers, equipped with advanced navigation but woefully unprepared for the Arctic's specific challenges, often brought with them an unshakable belief in their own technological might and an ignorance of local wisdom that proved fatal. They saw the land as something to conquer, a barrier to be overcome. Meanwhile, the Inuit had forged an intimate, symbiotic relationship with this very environment, developing a sophisticated knowledge system passed down through countless generations. Their ingenuity crafted tools, shelters, and survival strategies perfectly tuned to the rhythm of the frozen world. This documentary, Arctic Survival: Why Inuit Flourished Where European Explorers Perished, will embark on a journey into this frozen frontier, unraveling the fundamental differences in technology, knowledge, diet, clothing, and worldview that sealed the destinies of two vastly different cultures. Join us as we explore the secrets of unparalleled resilience and reveal why, in the world's harshest environment, true survival lies not in defiance, but in understanding and harmony. For centuries, the Arctic remained a tantalizing enigma on the fringes of the known world. It was a vast, frozen canvas onto which European empires projected their grandest ambitions. From the 16th to the 19th centuries, men like Sir John Franklin, driven by a thirst for glory and scientific discovery, believed the fabled Northwest Passage held the key to immense wealth and global dominance. This elusive sea route, promising a shortcut to Asian markets, fueled an insatiable curiosity and a fierce nationalistic rivalry. Explorers dreamed of charting new territories, claiming uninhabitable lands, and etching their names into history. The Arctic, though shrouded in mystery and danger, beckoned with a siren's call, a final, majestic frontier waiting to be conquered. Their vision was one of triumph, not survival. But beyond the maps and the dreams, the reality of the Arctic was a brutal, relentless adversary. This was not merely a cold place. It was a landscape of extremes that defied all conventional understanding. Temperatures routinely plummeted to -50 degrees Celsius, turning exposed flesh into brittle glass. For months, the sun vanished, plunging the world into a perpetual, suffocating darkness that tested sanity itself. Vast, dynamic ice sheets, ever-shifting and unpredictable, could crush even the sturdiest wooden ships like matchsticks or trap them in an icy embrace for years. Familiar resources vanished beneath layers of snow and ice, replaced by an alien scarcity. This desolate realm, beautiful yet utterly merciless, demanded a level of adaptation that European explorers, with all their technology and ambition, simply could not comprehend. European ambitions, however grand, were often matched only by a profound and dangerous ignorance. Their expeditions, magnificent feats of engineering and logistics for their time, were fundamentally ill-equipped for the true Arctic challenge. Men embarked in thick, heavy wool and cotton garments, suitable for a European winter but fatally flawed for the damp, extreme cold of the polar regions. Their diet, rich in preserved meats and biscuits, lacked vital fresh nutrients, paving the way for scurvy and other diseases. They brought advanced naval technology, compasses, chronometers, and robust ships, But their cultural biases and overconfidence blinded them to the most basic principles of Arctic survival. They arrived with a conqueror's mindset, bringing their world with them, rather than learning from the one they entered. This fatal hubris would cost countless lives. Yet, amidst this same unforgiving landscape, another story unfolded, one not of peril, but of unparalleled adaptation. For thousands of years, long before any European explorer dared venture north, the Inuit people had not merely survived the Arctic, they had thrived. Their ancestors crossed the Bering Strait millennia ago, carrying with them an intimate knowledge of how to live harmoniously with the land. They saw not a hostile wilderness to be conquered, but a bountiful home to be understood. From their language, shaped by the nuances of snow and ice, to their spiritual connection with every living creature, the Inuit developed a profound expertise that allowed them to flourish where others perished. Their legacy was not one of grand conquest, but of ingenious, sustainable mastery. The stark contrast in fates often came down to the most fundamental elements of survival, starting with what they wore. For European explorers, their clothing quickly became an Achilles heel. Heavy wool and cotton garments, deemed appropriate for temperate climates, were utterly unsuitable for the extreme Arctic. Once wet from snow, sweat, or sea spray, an inevitability in this environment, these fabrics lost all their insulating properties. They became sodden, heavy shrouds that rapidly drew heat away from the body. The relentless cold then turned these damp layers into icy prisons, leading swiftly to debilitating frostbite and the insidious creep of hypothermia. Trapped within their own inadequate defenses, these pioneers faced a slow, agonizing descent into fatal exposure. In profound contrast, Inuit clothing was a masterpiece of Arctic engineering, born from millennia of intimate knowledge. It was a multi-layered system, meticulously designed for dynamic insulation, flexibility, and the crucial ability to manage moisture. The inner layer, often caribou fur worn with the hair against the skin, trapped warm air. The outer layer, typically another caribou or sealskin parka with the fur facing out, provided exceptional wind and water resistance. Boots, mittens, and hoods were equally sophisticated, often double-layered and perfectly tailored to prevent cold bridges. This complex system allowed hunters to move silently and efficiently, shedding layers to prevent overheating during strenuous activity, then quickly re-insulating. Their clothing wasn't just protection. It was an extension of their very survival. For European explorers, their grand ships were meant to be bastions of civilization in the frozen wilderness. Yet, these technological marvels often became their greatest undoing. Once trapped by the relentless, shifting ice, as Sir John Franklin's HMS Erebus and Terror were in 1846, these magnificent vessels transformed into frozen prisons, their wooden hulls groaning and eventually breached. Confined within their icy cages for months, sometimes years, crews suffered from dwindling supplies, disease, and crushing despair. Attempts at secondary shelters, like canvas tents, offered only meager, temporary respite against the full fury of an Arctic blizzard. These flimsy structures, barely a barrier against the wind and snow, were a stark reminder of their profound vulnerability, exposing them further to the very environment they sought to conquer. Where European ships became sarcophagi, the Inuit found immediate, elegant solutions in the very fabric of their world. The igloo, or snow house, stands as a testament to their unparalleled ingenuity. Far from being primitive, these structures are architectural marvels, built with incredible speed and efficiency from compacted snow, the only readily available construction material. Within minutes, a skilled builder could create a shelter capable of raising interior temperatures from -45 to a surprisingly comfortable 0 to 15 degrees Celsius. The igloo's dome shape, combined with the insulating properties of snow, provided exceptional protection from blizzards, wind, and extreme cold, offering immediate refuge and a sanctuary of warmth. It was more than a home. It was a profound act of adaptation, built with the land, not against it. For the European explorers, the vast, frozen wilderness quickly became a tomb built of their own misguided preparations. Their diets, meticulously planned for long voyages, were a critical flaw. Heavily reliant on salted meat, rock-hard biscuits, and an occasional ration of canned goods, these provisions were catastrophically deficient in essential vitamins. Scurvy, the insidious disease of vitamin C deficiency, was not merely a discomfort, it was a silent killer. Men like those on Sir John Franklin's ill-fated 1845 expedition withered, their gums bleeding, teeth falling out, limbs swelling with internal hemorrhages, their minds clouded by apathy and despair. This isn't just a story of starvation. It's a story of a modern, industrialized diet failing utterly in the face of ancient elemental demands. Their bodies, weakened and broken, lost the will and the strength to survive long before the cold truly claimed them. In stark, life-saving contrast, the Inuit diet, though seemingly restrictive, was a masterpiece of Arctic nutritional science, honed over millennia. For them, the land and sea were not barren, but a vibrant larder. Their primary sustenance, seal, caribou, whale, and fish, provided not just protein and fat for energy, but every crucial nutrient required for survival. The organs, particularly liver and brain, were rich sources of vitamin C, B vitamins, and essential minerals, effectively preventing diseases like scurvy. A hunter might consume raw seal meat, its blubber providing incredible warmth and calories, while the blood offered vital iron. This diet, perfectly adapted to the cold, fueled their bodies, kept their minds sharp, and sustained their vibrant communities in an environment that brought mighty European empires to their knees. It was a testament to sophisticated indigenous knowledge. Acquiring that life-sustaining diet was where another profound divide emerged. European explorers, despite carrying advanced firearms, often found themselves utterly incapable of hunting effectively in the Arctic. Their guns, precise killing machines in temperate climes, frequently jammed or misfired in the extreme cold, their metal contracting, their lubricants freezing. More critically, they lacked the generational knowledge to track elusive Arctic game. The seals beneath the ice, the caribou camouflaged against the snow, the polar bears moving silently across vast distances. Without the patience, the understanding of animal behavior, or the honed techniques of local hunters, these expeditions faced a constant, debilitating hunger. Their inability to turn the bountiful Arctic into sustenance sealed the fate of countless men, leaving them to starve amidst potential plenty. Contrast this with the Inuit, whose very existence was predicated on mastering the hunt. Their tools were not just weapons. They were extensions of their profound ecological understanding. The barb harpoon, designed to hold fast to a seal or whale beneath the ice, was a triumph of engineering. Their bows, often composite constructions of wood, bone, and sinew, delivered powerful, silent shots. But tools were only half the story. Inuit hunters employed sophisticated techniques, patiently waiting for hours at a seal's breathing hole, using snow goggles to spot distant game, or orchestrating elaborate communal drives for caribou. Every strategy was finely tuned to the Arctic ecosystem, every movement economical, every decision based on generations of inherited wisdom. They hunted not with brute force, but with intelligence, respect, and unparalleled skill, ensuring survival for their entire community. European ambition for the Northwest Passage hinged on their greatest technological marvels, powerful sailing ships. Vessels like Franklin's HMS Erebus and Terror were designed to conquer oceans, but in the Arctic, they became liabilities, not assets. Imposing in open water, these behemoths became prisons of wood and metal when trapped by the relentless, crushing ice. Their deep drafts prevented navigation in shallow, ice-choked channels, forcing crews to abandon hopes of charting passages close to land. Once frozen in, these floating fortresses became utterly immobile, isolating their crews for months, sometimes years, far from any hope of rescue or fresh supplies. The very symbol of European might transformed into a monument to their hubris, a testament to an unwillingness to adapt to the unique and brutal realities of the frozen North. Where European ships failed, Inuit ingenuity soared. Their mastery of Arctic mobility was unparalleled, a fluid adaptation to a dynamic environment. The kayaks, or dog sled, was a marvel of engineering, lightweight, flexible, and capable of traversing vast distances over snow and ice, pulled by powerful dog teams perfectly adapted to the cold. For water travel, the sleek, silent kajak, the kayak, allowed single hunters to navigate icy leads and open water with incredible speed and stealth. For families and larger groups, the umiak, a larger, open-skin boat, carried people and supplies with efficiency. These vessels, constructed from materials found in their environment, represented freedom and self-sufficiency. They moved with the land, not against it, accessing vital hunting grounds and allowing communities to thrive through seasonal migrations, truly masters of land and sea. Even the everyday tools Europeans brought proved tragically ill-suited for the relentless Arctic. Their metal instruments, axes, saws, shovels, and scientific equipment, designed for temperate climates, became brittle and fragile in extreme cold. Metal handles snapped, wood splintered, and moving parts seized, rendering vital equipment useless. A simple axe, crucial for chopping wood or ice, might shatter on impact. The very firearms explorers relied upon could become inoperable. This wasn't merely an inconvenience. It was a fundamental breakdown of capability. Without reliable tools, essential tasks like shelter building, ice clearing, and equipment repair became Herculean struggles, draining precious energy and further isolating them from any hope of sustained survival. Their advanced technology betrayed them, unable to withstand the Arctic's unyielding embrace. The Inuit, by contrast, crafted tools perfectly in harmony with their environment, demonstrating ingenious resourcefulness. Fashioned from bone, antler, ivory, stone, and hide, their implements possessed an incredible resilience and flexibility that metal could never match in the cold. The ulu, the crescent-shaped women's knife, was a versatile masterpiece, ideal for skinning, butchering, and even cutting snow. Harpoons, made from multiple pieces of bone and antler, were designed to flex rather than break. Snow knives, or panna, carved from bone or antler, could swiftly cut blocks for an igloo. Every tool was a testament to sophisticated design, born of intimate material knowledge and generations of trial and error. These implements weren't just functional. They were beautiful expressions of survival, enabling the Inuit to thrive by working with the Arctic, not against it, a profound lesson for any who dared to enter this formidable realm. For European explorers, the Arctic ice was an impenetrable enigma, a hostile barrier to be overcome by sheer will and technological might. Their meticulously charted routes and rigid timetables shattered against the Arctic's capricious nature. Ships like those of Sir John Franklin's ill-fated 1845 expedition, designed for oceanic travel, became frozen tombs, their crews trapped, unable to comprehend the shifting, living landscape beneath their feet. They saw static ice. The Arctic presented a dynamic, constantly changing environment of multi-year flows, treacherous leads, and sudden pressure ridges. Their elaborate survival strategies, built on European notions of resilience, offered little defense against an environment they fundamentally failed to understand. This profound lack of adaptability, this inability to read the ice, ensured that logistical failure swiftly translated into a struggle for mere existence. Where Europeans saw an obstacle, the Inuits saw a living map. For millennia, they had cultivated an intimate relationship with the ice, an understanding passed down through countless generations. This was not merely survival instinct, but a sophisticated science of observation. They could discern the subtle coloration of the snow to identify solid ground from thin ice, interpret the sounds of shifting flows to predict movement, and read the texture of the surface to locate seal breathing holes or safe passages. Their knowledge was granular, detailed, distinguishing. Between Sikuliak, new ice, and Tuvak, multi-year ice, understanding the patterns of Kamenik, pressure ridges, and Sikwajutsik, open leads. The ice wasn't just a physical space. It was a complex narrative, and the Inuit were its master storytellers, navigating its pages with unmatched precision and respect. While European explorers clung precariously to life, battling scurvy and despair, the Inuit experienced a vibrant, thriving existence. Their lives were not just about enduring the cold, but about flourishing within it. With abundant food source from the very environment that starved outsiders, communities gathered, sharing stories, practicing intricate throat singing, and creating exquisite art from bone, ivory, and soapstone. Clothing, crafted meticulously from caribou and seal skin, was not just protection, but a canvas for artistic expression and cultural identity. Their spiritual practices connected them deeply to the land, sea, and sky, imbuing their harsh reality with meaning and purpose. This profound cultural richness, this joy in living, stands in stark contrast to the singular European obsession with conquest and mere survival, revealing a truly adapted way of life. Despite the devastating lessons of earlier expeditions, a stubborn unwillingness to truly learn plagued subsequent European ventures. Time and again, ships were lost, crews succumbed to disease and starvation, and elaborate plans crumbled. Sir John Ross's 4-year entrapment in the early 19th century, or the scores of whaling ships crushed by ice, offered chilling precedents. Yet, the pattern persisted. European hubris, a belief in the inherent superiority of their technology and methods, blinded them to the obvious wisdom of the Inuit. They often dismissed indigenous knowledge as primitive, refusing to adopt proven survival techniques, suitable clothing, or even basic dietary advice. This recurring tragedy wasn't just a failure of logistics. It was a profound failure of humility, a refusal to adapt that ultimately cost hundreds of lives and cast a long, dark shadow over the quest for the Northwest Passage. Today, the profound knowledge and practices of the Inuit remain not just historically significant, but vitally relevant. In an era of unprecedented climate change, their traditional ecological knowledge offers invaluable insights into the Arctic's delicate balance. Modern scientists and policymakers increasingly recognize that Inuit wisdom, honed over millennia of observation, provides crucial understanding of sea ice dynamics, wildlife migration, and environmental indicators. From sustainable harvesting practices to navigating increasingly unpredictable ice conditions, their insights are essential for future Arctic stewardship. As the world grapples with a changing climate, the Inuit stand as a powerful, living example of resilience and adaptation, demonstrating how to coexist with, rather than conquer, a powerful natural world. Their legacy is a beacon for sustainable living on a global scale. Ultimately, the Arctic's unforgiving embrace and the contrasting fates of European explorers and the Inuit offer a profound, universal lesson: the power of humility. It's a stark reminder that technological advancement, ambition, or sheer force of will are futile against the raw power of nature, if not coupled with respect, adaptation, and deep understanding. The Arctic did not need to be conquered. It needed to be understood, cherished, and lived with. The Inuit flourished not by fighting their environment, but by becoming an integral part of it. Their story, etched into the ice and sung through generations, teaches us that true survival and lasting prosperity lie not in dominance, but in coexistence, a lesson more critical than ever as humanity faces the challenges of a rapidly changing planet. The Arctic whispers a timeless truth: listen, learn, and adapt, or perish. We have journeyed through the icy heart of the Arctic, witnessing the dramatic clash of cultures and methodologies that determined life or death. The profound tragedy of European explorers succumbing to its merciless grip stands in stark relief against the enduring success of the Inuit. Their triumph was no accident. It was the culmination of unparalleled adaptation, generational knowledge, finely tuned technology, and a deep-seated cultural philosophy of respect for their environment. From the ingenious design of their fur clothing and the energy-rich traditional diet, to the warmth of their igloos and the efficiency of their dog sleds and kayaks, every aspect of Inuit life was a testament to sophisticated survival engineering. But beyond the tangible, it was their intricate understanding of the land, the ice, the wildlife, and the subtle shifts of weather, a wisdom passed down through millennia, that truly made the difference. They saw the Arctic not as an enemy to be conquered, but as a living entity to be understood and lived with. The enduring legacy of Inuit resilience is a powerful narrative of human ingenuity and an unparalleled connection to the land. Their story offers a universal lesson. True strength in the face of nature's might comes not from imposing will, but from seeking harmony and symbiotic existence. As we look to the future, the invaluable contributions of indigenous cultures like the Inuit to human knowledge and survival become ever more apparent. Their wisdom holds keys not just to Arctic survival, but to sustainable living on a fragile planet. Let us cherish these stories, learn from their profound insights, and appreciate the enduring spirit of those who truly understood how to live with the earth.